When we harvest fresh vegetables from our garden, we often throw away the leaves, peels, and other parts we don't eat. Most of the time, we only use the edible fruit or vegetable, and the rest ends up in the bin. But these scraps are full of nutrients and can be incredibly useful in the garden. Instead of wasting them, there are two ways to make use of these leftover leaves and peels. The first method is well known but takes time, while the second is faster and even more effective. The first method is to compost the vegetable leaves and peels. This involves adding the scraps to a compost pile and letting them break down naturally over several months. It's a straightforward process, and the result is rich, dark compost that acts as a great fertilizer for your plants. However, it can take 4 to 6 months for the compost to be ready to use, which might feel like a long time if you need fertilizer quickly. That's why the second method is a great alternative. It's faster, easier, and produces a liquid fertilizer that plants can use almost immediately. We're going to make liquid fertilizer from vegetable leaves and peels. This method is perfect if you want to recycle kitchen waste and feed your plants without waiting months. The process is simple, and you only need a few materials to get started. First, collect the vegetable leaves, peels, and other scraps you've saved. It's a good idea to chop them into small pieces because smaller pieces break down more quickly during fermentation. Once everything is chopped, you're ready to move on to the next step. Take a 5-gallon bucket for this process. Start by adding a layer of the chopped vegetable leaves and peels at the bottom of the bucket. Then, sprinkle a thin layer of compost or manure on top of the leaves. The compost or manure helps kickstart the fermentation process, providing essential microbes and nutrients. After that, add another layer of chopped leaves and peels, followed by more compost or manure. Continue layering like this until the bucket is about half full. Now it's time to add water. Use non-chlorinated water for this step, because chlorine can kill the beneficial microbes that are crucial for fermentation. If you have rainwater, that's an excellent choice because it's naturally chlorine-free. Pour the water into the bucket until it completely covers the layers of scraps. Once the water is added, mix everything well to ensure all the layers are soaked evenly. Then cover the bucket with a lid, but don't seal it too tightly. The mixture needs some airflow to allow fermentation to happen properly. Leave the bucket undisturbed for at least 7 days. During this time, the fermentation process will begin. Beneficial microbes will start breaking down the vegetable scraps, releasing nutrients into the water. By the end of the week, you'll notice that the mixture has a strong smell. Don't worry, that's a good sign. The smell indicates that the organic matter is breaking down and turning into a powerful fertilizer. The liquid will now be filled with nutrients and microbes that are incredibly beneficial for your plants. Before using the liquid fertilizer, you need to dilute it. The mixture is very strong in its concentrated form, and applying it directly to your plants could damage them. Dilute the fertilizer by mixing 1 part of the liquid with 10 parts water. For example, if you have 1 cup of the liquid fertilizer, mix it with 10 cups of water to make it safe for your plants. Once diluted, the fertilizer is ready to use. Apply the diluted fertilizer directly to the soil around your plants. Pour it close to the roots so the nutrients can be absorbed quickly. This fertilizer is excellent for boosting plant growth, improving soil health, and supporting strong root development. The microbes in the mixture help create a healthy soil environment, which benefits your plants in the long term. It's a natural way to enhance your garden without relying on chemical fertilizers. One of the best things about this method is that it's eco-friendly. Instead of throwing away vegetable leaves and peels, you're recycling them into something useful. It's a great way to reduce waste and make the most out of every harvest. Plus, you're saving money because you don't need to buy expensive fertilizers. Everything you need is already in your kitchen and garden. This liquid fertilizer works well for all kinds of plants, from vegetables to flowers to fruit trees. It's especially helpful during the growing season when plants need extra nutrients to thrive. You'll likely see a noticeable improvement in your garden after using it. Plants grow healthier, produce more fruit, and become more resistant to diseases. The results are rewarding and show just how powerful natural fertilizers can be. If you're worried about the smell, don't be. While the mixture does have a strong odor during fermentation, it fades once you dilute and apply it. The benefits far outweigh the temporary inconvenience of the smell. Plus, it's satisfying to know you've created something so beneficial for your garden from simple kitchen waste. Making liquid fertilizer might sound complicated at first, but once you try it, you'll see how easy it is. It's a fun and rewarding project that benefits your plants and reduces waste. By turning vegetable leaves and peels into liquid fertilizer, you're helping the environment and giving your garden a natural boost. Try it today and see the difference it makes. Your plants will thank you for the extra care, and you'll feel great knowing you're making the most out of your garden harvests.